Netherhoff is a grade, it's either grade 2 or grade 11 listed 17th century house with an early date in 1683. So that's going towards Colby, Netherhoff. So there's a dipper. A dipper looks like a blackbird, but they've got the white breast look. And if you look at them, they always duck down. They drop down on the legs, come back up, drop down again. They dip and dip and dip, and then come back up. That's why they call them dippers. Right, so back to the car. So you can see the notice on the wall there now, car park. So I'll just be pulling forward and turning around in this section here and going back up the bank 300 yards to the T-junction at the top, then turn left, and then get to the next T-junction. I'm going to turn right and then start heading back down towards Warcop the way I came. Right, keys out. Oh, that's what I was going to do, man. Wash my boots, I forgot. Shit. So I'll be getting caught on me time-lapse camera now, walking back to the fort here to wash my boots off. There's a guy in the cottage there now, through the window. That's who I must have woke up this morning. Right. Swish my boots. So you can just see the edge of the concrete road, the ford here. And like I say, I've seen pictures where there's a bit of it missing on the right hand side, so it's a bit of a drop down. So you'd have to be careful driving over that you didn't hit that and tip your car over. So at the moment, even with me having a 4x4 and high clearance, I still wouldn't drive over that. Where I can't see, I will not drive over. Right, pull my wing mirror back out again, jump in the car and start going up that hill around the left hand bend there. And there's another one of those signs about the red squirrels, and it says try your brakes, because there's obviously a steep bank going up there. And I noticed there's some salt bins on the way down here, so in the winter if it's really slippery, icy with snow, they throw salt down on the roads. But that's how manky my car's getting, just this driving across here on country roads. Right, just always check my wheels and my tyres. Yeah. Right, open the car, unlock. That's it. Right, switch off. Right, I've just turned my GoPro 8 from time-lapse mode to video mode, because I've just turned the car around and I'm starting to go back up the hill now to go back to the T-junction. Then turn right and start heading towards Warcop. Right, the car's manky, my boots are manky. I'm manky, we're falling over twice. Trying to get the waterfall on the left hand side, scrambling up the muddy path. Big mistake for me anyway, but I didn't realise it was going to be that slippy, and because obviously the closer you got to go up on the cliff to get the waterfall top, the higher the bank was getting, and therefore more and more slippy the higher you got. Right, back up the way I came, 300 yards back to the T-junction. Right, I've turned my GPS on now, because updated it again yesterday at tea time, and I'm getting the latest maps. So, right, so this is where I turned to come down here.
Turn left onto Broadmire Road.
So it's Broadmire Road I'm going to be going on to now. So I'll go up here to the top, next T-junction, and turn right.
Continue half a mile to the end of the street, then turn left.
I'm not going that way, I'm turning right. So it's trying to take us back to Appleby in Westmoreland and go back the main roads. They ain't run in front of the car. I hate that when they can't make their minds up whether they run left or right. There's female grouse there. Right, so this road bends round the right, goes to the T-junction. I'll be turning right and coming back on myself on the other road to the right there. Right, here's another pheasant.
At the end of the street, turn left.
No, I'm turning right. I'm just laughing the way it's running. Looks dead funny because the waddle as well as run. It's like they've got a belly full of bloody liquid and it's floating around as they run. Swishing about left to right. Right, so here's the T-junction coming up there now, and I'm turning right.
Turn left onto Pennine View.
No, because that's the way you come in. That's the way you come in if you want to Appleby and Westmoreland, further up on the A66. But I'm going to be heading there, Ormside 3/4 mile, and Sowerby is 5 miles, and back that way to the left. What's trying to take us down is Appleby, 2 3/4 miles to go to Appleby Castle, and that's the way. That's the easiest and main route to come in. But like I say, I've come company roads to cut off a big chunk of the journey and keep the miles down to minimum. So I've got to go all the way down here past the crossroads, which is coming up here now, then continue along over the railway lines, and then continue along over the Little Beck. It's quite a wide road this as well, so it's not like a thin country road full of mud and shit. It's not a bad road actually.
In 2 miles, turn left onto Ravelands Brow.
That's it. Ravesdale Brow. That's the name of it, where you go down past that Katie's Mobile K such and such, and Mere Farm Access Road. That's M-A-R-E, Mere. So that's the way I came up this morning. Right, I've stopped recording and started to press record again because I couldn't remember, once I changed it over from time lapse, I couldn't remember if I pressed record, but record the driving hour here. So I've pulled over the car, stopped recording and press record again. Right, there's a car coming this way. It's the first car I've seen since I came along here this morning. Same idea as me, that's why she pulled over by that entrance to a gateway there. I'm not so scared about leaving the road because I've got a 4x4 now, driving this XC90, whereas before, when I was driving the V70 with it being front wheel drive, sometimes if I got into ditches and soft wood, I couldn't get back out because it was just spinning and not binding. what's that farm called? Helm Farm. Helm. Helm Farm. So I've just crossed over the railway lines, past Helm Farm. You go over the top of a little beck down here, and then eventually you come to my left turn again. So I hope I get back down and through walk up as easy as I did this morning, first thing. Right, so there's your 10% downhill gradient, and there's a salt bin. These are the things that you remember when you're driving along. And another salt bin, second one, around this left bend. And there's your beck straight ahead over the wall. So you drive over the top of this by this little bridge here as well, stone bridge. And then you go past his house on the left with the plastic reflector posts outside of it on the grass. And then you know you're close to your left turn. To come here today for this walk because with the weather being prone to just pissing down the rain.
In a quarter of a mile, turn left onto Ravelands Brow.
Right, I thought I'll come to a place where I'm not far from the car once I park up the car. Right, is this the turn now or is it? No, it's just accessing. No, that's our access past this one. Right, mine's further up. There's a sign on the left now, seeing there's a left turn coming up. And there's your sign on the right hand side of the road.
Turn left onto Ravelands Brow.
Raven's Brow. And there's your signpost pointing left saying, what's that? Blaytown again, back where I came through, 1 mile, and walk up 2 3/4 miles. Right, so back along here, past Mere Farm Access Road and Katie's Beauty.
Continue 3/4 of a mile to the end of the street, then turn left.
Yeah, so you go right back along at the end of here, and then bear left. And you go back along past those 3 whitewashed cottages on the left. Just keep dropping down. So this is where I drove along first thing this morning, coming here. There's another for sale sign. Milmoser. Right, so the access to the farm is along here, and Katie's mobile such and such, wherever it was. This is it here. Oh, it's just more interested in the farms and it. Anyway, you drive past 2 access roads.
At the end of the street, turn left.
So what I've typed in for us to give us directions back to is the Golden Fleece pub in Brough, where I'm going back to, and then drive back over the North Pennines Road towards Mickleton from Brough.
Turn left onto Ravelands Brow.
And this is where you've got the single track lane. Right, so there's your marker post straight ahead, looks in Kirkby Stephen to the right, 5 miles, Blaytown 1/4 mile to the left here, and walk up 2 miles. Right, so this is the way I came this morning. And there's your width limit, 1/2 miles, 1.5 miles, ahead 6'6".
In 1.5 miles, turn right onto Gregson Terrace.
Right, so this is where I've got to hope and pray that I get all the way down here without now coming the opposite direction. Right, so here's these 3 whitewashed cottages on the left that you drive past. I came past these this morning. And then you drive through these farm buildings right on the edge of the road here. And then bears left and it starts dropping downhill. And this is where the road's very thin, going all the way down to the bottom towards the old Eden Eden Bridge, the stone arch bridge. So the signs all over here, slow down, not to kill the red squirrels. Right, up we go. Once again, salt bins for to help vehicles get up the hill here when it's in winter. But, so as you can see, this bit of the road here going back down towards Warcop is very thin. There's a few places where you could pull it, but like this access to the farm here, or house. But if you're going down here and something's coming up, because it's privet both sides and there's not enough room, somebody's got reverse all the way up here, bloody murder. So I'm hoping and praying that with it being a Sunday and it's still early in the morning, I won't come across any traffic. Right, so just on the left here, before I go around to the bridge on the right here, there's a bit of an access road goes off to the left when I get to the bottom. You can drive along that, the edge of the A66 as well, the motorway. And also follow the River Eden. It's just at down at the bottom here. This will give you a bit of an idea of where I came this morning, first thing, in the pitch dark. So as you can see, it's privet, really thick, dense, heavy duty privet, both sides, where they've got to go along with those tractors that have got the spinning blades, lift up the side and trim all this back. So they must have to come up here quite often and do that. So here's another place you could use as a passing place where this tractor is, if anything's coming up the way. So an advantage of coming up here in the pitch dark, you've got your main beam on, so you can see that any vehicles are coming up or down from quite a distance away, so you can pull over ready to let them pass.
In a quarter of a mile, turn right onto Gregson Terrace.
Once I get over the old Eden Bridge, you get on what you call Brookside. They call it Gregson Terrace. Well, it might be wanting to take us along the B6259, I think it is, parallel with the A66. Go that way to Great, most Great, I think. I'm just going to go back through.
Turn right onto Gregson Terrace.
So, right, so this is where you can go left along this country farmers access road there with the wood marker posts pointing left. You can follow the river along there, and there's your signpost for Warcop. So I'm now going to be going over the old Eden.
In a quarter of a mile, turn left onto Chalk Hill.
It's an old stone humpback bridge here. Very thin. There's your 30 miles an hour signs. Right, so you just follow these walled buildings. And then you, according to the map, Google Map, it's you drive past this bit, you go along Brookside, like the soap program. Used to be on Brookside, Channel 4.
Turn left onto Chalk Hill.
Just follow the road right the way along. You don't turn off.
In a quarter of a mile, turn left onto B6259, then take the first right.
Right. Straight where those white railings are, there's a little stream running along called Crook Beck. And this is where the road signs that I seen this morning, where this bit of the road's going to be closed for 2 days on the 2nd of November. So you can just see the the little beck running along the Crook Beck, and it goes underneath the road here where the children's play area is on the right here. Right.
Turn left onto B6259, then take the first right.
Yeah, it's taking us back exactly the way I came in this morning, because I came here and turned right here at this obelisk where the children's play area is. Right, so you turn left here and then right straight away.
Turn right onto A66.
That's that telephone box and the defibrillator. Right, so I'll be going past this.
Continue half a mile
again,
to the
folks.
end of the street, then turn right.
Shamley Arms is something they call it. Chamley, Shamley Arms. Comes up on your left. Here it is there now. And there's a sign above it. Shamley Arms Pub. Right, so this is where I drove in this morning. Right, so back out the way I came in this morning.
At the end of the street, turn right.
Right, so back along here underneath the railway bridge and then just continue straight on until I reach the T-junction with the A66. I'll be going into the central reservation, turning right, and go back past all the army training centres again. When I came along here this morning, look at all them sheep sitting on the hill, waiting for the farmer to come and feed them.
Turn right onto A66.
Right, so this is where I've got to go across the central reservation, which I don't like doing on main motorways because it's dangerous. There's big trucks coming along now. First time I've seen any army personnel
In 2¼ miles, keep left toward B6276.
Right, so that's telling us I've got to turn left to go back towards Brough off the A66 here. And there's the sign for the dual carriageway 2 miles ahead. So just as you leave the single carriageway towards the dual carriageway, you turn left and go along the slip road into Brough. So this is where I drove along this morning to get where I went. So you can see the shortcut that I've taken to the waterfall. Instead of going all the way along the A66 to Appleby in Westmoreland and take that turn off, go into the village and then turn left over the bridge and then come back on yourself to go back to the waterfall. I've just cut that huge corner off by going the way I went. So I'll just be looking for a big brown sign pointing left to go into Brough. So I'll take the slip road off to the left. So as you can see, it's extremely busy road, this A66, because it's the main road that cuts across the country from one side to the other, basically. It's coming right over from Scotch Corner and it's going to Cumbria towards the Lake District, where people go along to the Lake District.
In 3/4 mile, keep left toward B6276.
So that's the number of the road that I'll be taking, B6276, to go into Brough. Dual carriageway signs, so it's just as you get into this past this sign that you start turning left. So as they go speeding up again on the right lane because you'll be turning left.
Keep left toward B6276.
There's the big brown sign above the lower one. 6276. So this is where I take the slip road off.
In half a mile, arrive at 2 Market Street on the right.
So that's the address. I put in 2 Market Street, because that's the closest I can find for the pub, the Golden Fleece. There's the inn at Brough and the Golden Fleece, where you turn to go down underneath the A66. And there's your signpost there on the left, Brough, B-R-O-U-G-H. Right, so I've got to drive right through Brough here and take my left turn again to go up and over the moor, back over towards Mickleton. So I'm going to be passing the 2 pubs in the centre here. The Golden Fleece is on the right hand corner.
Arriving at 2 Market Street on the right.
And the inn at Brough is just here on the left there now. It's quite a tall building there, it's on the left there now. The inn at Brough. Right, so I've just got to go up this bank, 1/4 mile, and take my left turn. And then just go up and up and up and up and up again. So this is where I came down this morning after coming over from Mickleton. Climb now until you get up over the top. There's a car coming down, I think, as well. Just see the roof of the car there now. It's a van. It's SUV 4x4. And the farmers will be waiting now and coming up and doing the road. Over there to the left. But you just climb and climb and climb and go around S bend after S bend until you get to the top, and then you start dropping down on the far side over cattle grates and then round S bends where the bridges are over the river. As you can see now, look, if you look to the left, I'm getting higher and higher and higher, going up and up and up, round and round. There's a cold mist down there in the valley, in between the trees. Looks like white smoke where a fire's been put out, and it turns to mist, like white steam. That's what it looks like. Right, round these S-bends and up and up and up again. Slow redoing for these bends as well, because sometimes in the summer months the motorbikes come screaming around here because they're taking the bends and leaning over. They're right next to the white line, so you've got to make sure that you're not anywhere near the white line, because you'll clip them, knock them off the bikes. Not that they should be speeding and leaning over thinking it's a bloody racing track, because it's not. It's a road. But each to their own. I know it's that sport, they love to go fast, it's the thrill, it's the danger of falling off and the adrenaline that they get from it, speeding around bends. And then leaning right over on the side of the bike so they're just about level with the road. So this is what I didn't see first thing this morning, because it was pitch black coming over here. on top of that it was pea soup, so I couldn't see much. Out of the scenery anyway.